got to keep stepping, got to keep moving forward, got to keep doing what you got to do with the best intentions that you are going to get better. But it's just because you're moving forward with yourself. You have your whole life, the whole expectation, and it's going to be good.
Welcome to the Listen for Life podcast with Genevieve Richardson. Genevieve is a speech-language pathologist rehabilitating adults with communication challenges after a stroke or due to a neurological impairment. Get equipped with knowledge from experts in the field and professionals you need to know. We'll hear stories and experiences from others who are navigating life with aphasia. So, put your earphones in and take a walk outside. This isn't just a podcast. This is a community, a resource, and a support system. We're in this together. Do life.
Good morning, everybody. Genevieve Richardson with Life Speech Pathology, and we are back with another motivating, awesome, dynamic guest. His name is Matt Thomas, and he's going to join us here in just a minute. He is a head injury survivor from 32 years ago. I'm going to let him tell you his story, but what makes Matt stand out in this community is that he continues to keep moving forward. He challenges himself. He has a website. We're going to hear all about it and hear what his mission is. Are you ready, Matt? You ready to join us?
All right, ready, set, go.
Woo! Here you are. Good morning, Matt. How are you? Are you ready, Matt?
It's so funny. Yeah, I just was trying to text my friends about the show, and then it was doing what you were doing right here. It was live.
It's just
good.
like being live on the radio, right, Matt?
Woo, yes, and then to everyone out there, I have a radio station out there. Are we just in Texas or the world?
We are in the world, sir.
Okay, welcome. Everybody wants to rule the world. Tears
That's
for fears.
right. Tears for fears.
But
So,
hey, okay, go.
I
Sorry.
would love to start if you would just give us a brief history of you and how you came to be where you are right now.
Well, it all started with underage drinking, and that's where I'm speaking from. I was getting drunk driving now. And then it went to, and I was out in Lake Sherwood, and you used to live in Thousand Oaks, TO. And that's where my accident happened, because my ex-brother, chump brother, fake brother, whatever you want to call him, but brother, we used to have fun on Lake Sherwood every Sunday, and then we used to get drunk, stoned, and all that stuff. We were drinking vodka on the lake all day, and then I wanted to go to another party, and then the driver of the car drove off 30-foot bridge, went through the windshield, landed on my skull, rocks didn't go through, swelling of the brain, had the shunt trach. You guys can see on my website, positive-matters.org, and I'll repeat it later. But then I had the frontal temporal parietal hemorrhaging on the left side, basal skull fracture, and then on the right side was my thalamus and occipital. So I had the whole cerebral cortex. That's all of our thinking, perceiving, producing, and understanding language. And then we had the thalamus, which relays all your five senses to your cerebral cortex to get up to your cognition, to get up to your cognitive skills, but then to bounce over to the cognition, which is knowledge and understanding, because we all understand that we have knowledge, don't we?
Well, we hope.
Yeah.
That is the assumption, Matt. Right.
Yeah, yes, it's all beautiful though.
So you spent 3 months in a coma.
Yeah, well, pretty much because I think you don't, and see, I'm doing, in my documentary on Tubi called Straight Out of a Coma, that's another thing you can watch. The first guy was in a coma 32 years. The second guy was 12. And I want to bring attention to them, to brain injury, to everybody that has a disability,
Absolutely.
And can you put Tubi on there too?
Oh, Tubi. Tubi.
BI.
Tubi documentary.
Yeah.
Cool.
But hey, I hope no one heard that. I was whispering, but how it all? What was that? Real quick, short memory. That's my amygdala. Emotions.
Yes, definitely. Well, so you
No,
told
I
us
was.
how you spent 3 months in a coma.
Oh no.
You got a
It's not. It
documentary.
wasn't. Is the well? You know the Gut Coast Coma scale, right?
Yes, I do.
Well, it's not like you wake up and I was paralyzed on my left side, couldn't read, write, talk, shower, shave, couldn't do anything, and then I had to go to a head injury day treatment program called TGI Care House that they gave me all the stuff I need to learn because they came out to Orange County, went to this fake place, but I'm not going to mention them, but it was just fake. The guy didn't have any credentials, and I have coma-dentials. But it was funny, and then and then because that didn't work, and I was doing that, and then I started working there, and then I was seeing what he was doing, so it was just a big thing, so I quit, and then boom, then I had to start doing it all on my own. And actually, I was doing it on my own and taking the bus was huge by myself. Riding a bike to work was huge by myself. Doing this, just compensating everything that I could do. But I had the negative parts of everything that was in everything that had everything to do with my recovery, because I was saying, "Oh, I can't do this," because it seems so tough. There's just so much more that you can do when it seems tough. You got to just overcome that fear, because and my thing was through prayer, and I was doing what I prayed for. And then that's where, because in Philippians 4:4, Philippians 4:13, I can do all this through him who gives me strength. We all have our power that we think is in ourselves, that we work hard to do it. But no, it's not. We do it through the grace of God. That's just what I'm saying. But if you can do it your way, do it your way. But that's my whole thing is just through the doing what you do, of course, because this is my left side. This is 32 years. It used to be in a fist and up in the air. It took 8 years to get it to be able to go down, to be able to walk with it down. Now walk limp. I have a drop foot, and I've had the police call to me because I get so excited, especially at the mall. I've had them call at South Coast Plaza 2 times at Stacy Bone. One time at Trader Joe's, the manager wouldn't even believe me. He just didn't want to believe that I had a head trauma. I offered him my card. Oh no, you're drunk, man. But what can I do? I can't say this, can't say that. But
So let's talk about that for a second, Matt, because that's a tough spot to be in.
yeah, well,
That the general public is making an assumption about what's going on with you
yeah,
from just from the outside, and that you point out that manager was not willing to look at your card, which is something I talk to my clients about all the time. You got to carry some kind of a card or identification about what's going on with you medically. And so you said that manager just wasn't even willing to look at it. And you
no,
also told me stories that people at a restaurant, they'll call the police on you thinking you're
yeah,
drunk
yeah.
and you haven't had a lick of liquor.
I know.
And
And because I did drink with my head injury, and when no one did call the police. It's kind of funny. I mean, I got
funny, not
sober.
funny.
Not funny, but I mean, it's just for real. Sorry, Miss Jackson. I am for real.
So let's talk about your humor, Matt, because that is the one that, so before we get to that, you and I met through Instagram.
Yeah. I reached out to you. That was my front lobe issue. It
was awesome. It was awesome that you and I connected. We had a phone call a couple of weeks ago.
And then I found out you lived in, I saw 805, and I saw 805. What are you
Yep.
doing? Are you out in West? Oh no, it's in Thousand Oaks. And how
Yep.
funny is that? And see, and I was gonna play. I turned down my offer to BYU. I had a football scholarship offer to BYU, but I said no, Mom. Throw that away. They don't drink, you know. And see, because I was in that little field of drinking, but we had Jamal Anderson on our team. I had my offer before him. He didn't get his till Moore Park. Ha ha. But anyways, and now I'm, it's kind of it's football helped me out humongously with that. And I was a surfer, skater, stoner, drinker, all ladies and the feeling's right. It's just a ladies' night. Oh, what a night, But that was my whole thing, and my humor. The humor, to get back onto the question. Sorry, see how I get. It's another frontal lobe departure. But yeah, the humor is the only way that I could get through it. That's the only way, because if you're serious, you think too much about what you can't do, and when you can't do it, because everything I do now is a compensation, every single thing, and let's see the eye
Right. Yep.
right there, and then but see, oh, there it is. You saw that. I'm not hiding it, I'm just covering it up. But
I'm not hiding it. I'm just covering it up. Got it, Matt.
But yeah, and see, and that's the only way. And then, like, because I speak to probation, house arrest, mothers against drunk driving, to like 150 DUI people, and it's just good to bring in humor to break up the situation because everyone's tripping. And when you're in that mode of like, oh no, I won't be able to do this. See, and I was told in the beginning it was all negative. Oh, he won't be able to do this. Fine. Well, I didn't know 5%. My mom was told 5%. My mom and dad, they were told 5. My mom and dad, Gay and Brad. My mom was born in '39, so they were gonna name her Joy, but got a dog, so named her Gay. Oh. But then, yeah, when you're negative about your recovery, that's the thing. You can't be negative. You listen to the therapist, and if their way isn't working with you, then try your own way, man. Just keep trying the ways to keep going, moving forward, because it will work. But I'm not, I'm not gonna be the debonair like I used to be. I'm just Matto, Spatsy, Spartan, MT. Those are all my nicknames back in the day. It's all crazy. But then, yeah, it's just humor. You got to have humor with
Gotta
everything,
have it.
because it won't. Because I tell that I'm having a guy with aphasia doing a Eminem song on my radio show tomorrow. And
Awesome.
it's just great because he's trying to get opportunity is very hard for him. But here's saying opportunity, and there's always humor with him, and he's good. He had a stroke, I think it was 5-6 years ago.
Let's talk about your website, positive-matters.org. Tell us, why did you start that website and what are you aiming for with it?
I want to aim to show that everyone, doesn't matter if we all use our brains, and every disability has depression, and that's part of your brain, part of your amygdala. Everything you do is depression when you're going through disability, and that's when you have to fight forward. Doesn't matter, but positive matters. It's got to be positive. You got to have fun doing everything when you're in the negative situations, because there's no way you can get out of it if you're negative. Because they told me in the beginning, oh, you won't be, my Dr. Rosen, who's retired now, everyone's retired. Even I go by the fire station in Lake Sherwood, the lady that was in the picture putting the bandage around my head, and she's retired. They're all retired. It's like all these new 20-year-old kids. I'm like, all right. And they haven't heard about it. But anyways, getting back to the website, I just want to bring that you can do it no matter what. And if you have a head injury, you just got to compensate, because your neurons are looking for a thought, to bring a thought. And every head injury is different, obviously. But there is a way you can work it out, unless it's gone. That's what I'm saying. But with all that, because people thought when I came here I'd be in a wheelchair, I wouldn't be able to talk, I wouldn't be able to do this, wouldn't be able to do that. But here I am. Now I'm riding a hydro bike from Catalina to Newport Beach Sheriff Station on August 20th, and
Love
I'm doing different things. I've been driving a car for freaking 25 years now, and just one little fender bender on the freeway.
it. Uh-oh.
But yeah,
California.
it
California
was
traffic. Oh boy. So we have a question here, Matt. Let me pop it up
okay.
here on the screen.
Okay.
Gracie has a comment. She appreciates you talking openly about the depression that comes along with disabilities. Because that is a fact of life, isn't it, Matt?
Yeah, and then people ask me why I'm so happy. They ask what am I on? I just say God's grace, and just say that I'm alive, and just you can't be negative about anything, even when it's tough, because it's gonna be. We all have our down depression, as Peter Tosh would say, what you gonna do when your well runs dry, you know.
Mm.
And all of our wells and see, music has been helping me too. I used to lip sync Zeppelin. And when I know my Adidas by Run DMC, I know After Forever by Black Sabbath. I ain't no joke. I used to let the mic smoke by Being Wrong Cam. Woo! And I know In Excess Mediate. Yeah.
Nice, nice. You're
But
talking
see,
some of
everything's a
those I
memory
know,
too.
Matt. Yeah.
Huh?
Some of those songs I actually know, especially in
Yeah.
the 80s. So we have a question here, Matt. I'll pop it up.
Okay. Hit it, Ron.
Adam has a question. How did it go when you had your recent fender bender? Were you accused of being drunk or not suitable for driving? And how do you defend yourself against rude people? Oh boy, loaded question there, Matt.
All right, man. I gotta load my shotgun. No, but no, my fender bender was 20. I wasn't really getting it 25 years ago because I was showing more of my disability. Yeah. But no, at first I was, because I just got back from my hydro bike last year, and I was all happy, and then I walked into this burrito place in Newport Beach, and it was like I get mad, angry, but I can't do that. You got to be humble. Those who exalt themselves will be humble, but those who humble themselves will be exalted. And that's just another Proverbs. But and see, it doesn't hit me at first because the lady said, I don't think you should be. I don't think you should be driving, young man. She didn't say young man. She said sir. I just put young man in there for my own ego. But she said, I don't think you can be driving. You're kind of drunk, aren't you? And I flipped her off, and I got in the car, turned up Led Zeppelin, and I was going, bye! And I shouldn't do that. I just should have given her my car and said, oh no, but thank you. I have a head injury. That would have made her turn red. And so,
Yeah.
but okay, but I just, with the police, I'm multitasking.
I know, I see that. Look at those mental resources, everybody.
But I'm 32 years into it. Couldn't do that and then you got to go with things that people, when they said you couldn't do it, that's when I did it.
That's
better.
right.
That's when I worked harder to
Prove
do it.
them wrong.
Yes, that was my whole thing. And see, to the, oh no, see, the police didn't come. It was on the freeway, and it wasn't like that. So, and defending myself, I should be humble. Sorry, that's it. Okay, we
got it. We have another question for you, Matt. Jana asks, what are your favorite resources to go to for your information and help?
Like information about what? Like just.
I would imagine resources and, how to. So here's what I know, Matt. Working with so many folks with aphasia, I tend to specialize in more of the chronic condition somebody 6 months or more after the onset of their aphasia.
Yeah.
And often by this time, they're starting to get isolated. They've pulled back because friends and family don't know how to talk and communicate with them. Where would you send somebody if they are feeling alone, like they don't have anybody to lean on? I would guess
Oh,
that your website's a good place to start, but where
yeah.
else
Go to
do
my
you recommend?
yeah. Just go to the website, and all I can say is with me, I did prayer, and he didn't answer right away because that's not how the Lord works. He doesn't say, "Okay." You know how many people pray to him a day, but there's just it's a whole different situation. You gotta pray, and then what you're feeling bad about, feeling lonely, don't go in that world. Just keep going to the way that you were taught from other people that say, "Oh, don't be depressed, right? Depressed." And then when people say that to you who don't know what the heck it's all about, what do? You just got to keep. I'm see. I mouth off at everyone, especially when I'm driving. Because they're stupid. I mean, they're not stupid, but I mean, here I am, head injury, driving. They're doing ignorant things in front of me, and if I were to, if I do it, it's my head trauma. They blame it on my head trauma. Oh, this or that. See, I have a spinning knob on my wheel. It's just a whole different thing. But the information and help, go to my website. You can look at that, figure that out, and then you could bring your own whatever you do to work yourself out. And if you
Mhm.
don't know what to do, just pray. And if you don't believe in God, try, start, give him a shot. Don't diss on him. Because that's he wouldn't do that to you. But hey, that's just my point of view and everything. Okay. Thank
Gotcha.
you for choosing Live Pathology Show.
That's right. And, folks can reach out to me as well. I have resources. I've got 52 episodes of a podcast. It's aphasia focused, but it's also about resources and support. So there are options out there. If somebody,
Yeah, or go to my friend here.
yeah, come to my website, go to Matt's website, and
Yeah,
you
go
don't
to
ever
TO.
you don't have to do this alone. And if I don't
Yes,
have the
yes,
answer,
yes.
if Matt doesn't have the answer, we'll help you get one.
Yeah, here we go.
So we have a comment from Lisa. It's so understandable to get angry back at people who jump to conclusions. It's true when you share your story, they tend to retract in shame. Yeah. Some people that get super judgy, right, Matt? And then you tell
Yeah,
them
you can't help it because if I was on the outside of me and I didn't know head injury, I would think I was drunk too. Because when I'm in sandals and I'm out in the parking lot in the mall, going, can anybody hear where my alarm is? Because I'm not thinking they're gonna think I'm drunk because I'm limping. I drool a couple times here and there, but it's just, yeah, they don't. It's just you got. It's tough to do it when you have, because I had the hypersexuality. I had the perseveration where you do things over and over and over and over, and that's what was tough, So it was crazy on the whole situation with that,
Yeah.
you know.
Mike has a comment. He's looking at your shop and loves the t-shirts. He loves your comment. Quote, God doesn't diss you, so don't diss him.
Oh wow,
So
that's kind
somebody's
of
checking out your website, sir. Love it.
all right. Good job, thank you.
Awesome. Awesome. So I'd like to ask you, Matt, with this 32-year journey, what
Yeah.
if you had the opportunity to get nurses, physicians, therapists in front of you, what would you want them to know
Hmm.
and make sure they know when they're dealing with someone who's had a head injury or a stroke or other significant neurologic situation?
Yeah, but don't ever, the first thing, don't ever say that you know how it feels, because I don't know how you feel seeing me, and you don't know how I feel with my disability, you know. Oh, there it is. Genevieve, I go to her website. I lost your name there for a second. All
Oh.
right. The G. But yeah, and then just you should talk to them and ask them what they would like best to, with speech, because they can't do it. Then if they can't answer when you ask them what should they do, don't if they don't know, then that's when you can step in and do it, because I took everything that my first physical therapist, Maria Owen, Susan, my first physical therapist at Northridge Hospital. She just taught me how to step, stand up, balancing, and then the second one, who I have the 9 month video of me where I could barely do this, barely do that, to where I'm running, to where I'm standing on, and I'm even on a skateboard 11 months after my head injury. My mom filmed it, and I can't believe I was doing it. I'm scared to do it now. But that was like freaking out of that, and then just roll with, don't be so egotistical, because I that's what I would trip out on when they would get egotistical, because they don't have a right to do that, first of all. Second of all, because I'm not tripping on anyone, but they have the book learning, and I'm still going through my residency for 32 years. I'm still learning my injury. See, because every injury is different. We're in the same boat. We just got different oars, different
Yeah,
side oars,
that's
and
great.
it's kind of like someone's like, we all need help to do something, that's the thing, but it's a whole different process. But just don't, the main thing is, I was just, don't let your learn skills conquer what you think you're doing about with the therapist, with who is that, with the therapist, no, with the patients. Don't let, because what the books have said, get to know them before yeah, like I said, give them examples of what they can do or what they can't do, and what they can't do, ask them how they feel they should do it. And if you have,
Mm,
because you know more about that type of aphasia that they might not know, so you guys that can work together,
mm,
because if they've been in it, because everyone that has a head injury or disability should be doing therapies every day. It's a new job. It's not like it's gonna go away. It's not like it's a cold or something. You take a few pills and it goes away. It's with you forever. Your life's changed. The old you's gone, so you have to make a new you. Took me like 25 years to figure that out, but because in the first years, so I saw Jamal playing for Atlanta Falcons doing his Dirty Bird. He didn't have, but he's a great guy, but I thought I'd get back, but it was just crazy how I couldn't. There's no way I could play football. Hit my head again. Yeah, right. But
yeah, don't want that. All right, we got
okay,
another question.
okay, let's hit it, Ron.
Amy has a comment. That's so true that even though you think you know everything there is to know, there's always something more to learn every day, no matter what your education level is.
Yeah, I mean, because we can't know everything, and especially here I am, head injury, people trip on me, people get jealous of me. I don't know why they do that. People get jealous of me, all these different things, because I don't know why, because I'm doing so well, because I'm doing better than they are. There's no comparison, because no one can do better than me, no one can do better than you, but we all have our own gifts,
That's
okay?
right. I love how you said that. Matt, let's talk about the things you have going on. So you said August 20th, your
I'm gonna,
hydro bike from
yeah.
Catalina to the Newport Beach fire station.
Yeah.
Why are you doing it?
I'm doing that because I can't get you. Oh, figured it out. I'm doing it to show that, because I did it last year in 11 hours, And now I got to be, because I did it the first year from there to Long Beach Harbor, and it was just, and because that guy, I was starting out with him, but he became kind of ignorant, so I had to say bye bye. He tried to take over. He tried to do this, tried to do that. His frontal lobes weren't working that well. His his dendrites weren't taking the action potential that hops over the synaptic cleft and then out the axon.
You know what, Matt? I'm gonna make all these neurological Matt sayisms.
Well, I know
I
it's
love
just
how,
trippy.
but you incorporate all of this knowledge that you've gained about the brain and the anatomy and the physiology and the lobes, and I just love.
The
I think
lobes.
it's hilarious. I love it.
The
Okay,
lobes.
so you got the hydro bike thing, and you're also working on a golf tournament. Tell us
Yeah,
about
my second one last year. I had my first one. It was excellent. 90 people 90 people signed up, but then 80 people, 90 people showed up, got sold out. Then 90 people were there. And then 90, okay, wait, let me rephrase this.
Start over.
90 people signed up, 80 people showed up. All right. Signed up, showed up. Woo!
Okay.
And then how it was just incredible. I couldn't believe it. It was another gift from God. So
Neat.
that here I am, head injured, because my attorney, my partner Joe Pipes, and then my editor Mark, everyone was doubting me. Even my framer who did all my pictures for my grandpa. Okay, and all these different things, and how seeing that, and that's where I have the history. That's where I'm on the bay in Balboa in Newport Beach, because of my grandpa. And see, let's see. Do you see where is it? Do you see Bambi back there?
Nope.
Oh, you don't see
Oh, yeah,
Bambi?
I kind of do.
Yeah, and see the guy, because he was aviation pioneer, invented the B-17, the P-38, the P-2V Neptune, the Shooting Star, the President Eisenhower's Columbine, and then he talked about space in 1962. And who landed on the moon 69? Neil Armstrong. And then, but anyways, he moved from St. Louis out to North Hollywood, and his neighbors were Frank Sinatra, the artist from Gone with the Wind, and then that guy, the inventor of Bambi and Bugs Bunny, and they were down here and rented to my grandparents in '49, and that was what was huge. That's how they got this house, so that's why I'm here, and that's why I'm on the water still with the hydro bikes. And Ray Burrish was the inventor of the hydro bikes. So there we go.
Very cool.
Okay, what was the question again? Sorry, I get on time.
Your golf tournament, sir.
Oh yeah. Oh, sorry. I don't know how that got over to my grandpa, but hey, here we go. See how the neuron, it's not hopping over the synaptic. But the golf tournament. This one hopefully will be bigger. We have an after party. We have a silent auction. And so it's just. And I can see my attorneys and my editors and my friend. It was like, that's when it's good, because I told them, I was okay, I'm gonna have a golf tournament. They're like, oh, all right, yeah, right, But then see, with their help, I moved it forward. See, if I didn't have their help, I wouldn't have moved it forward. But if they wouldn't have had my idea, they wouldn't able to help to move it forward. So that's where, because everything I have, the editor does his thing, and I give it. It's incredible how everything. And see, we got 3 documentaries. I entered the Newport Beach Film Festival, and we can only do the putting a building disability. Those are my trademarks. Straight out of Coma, putting a building disability, and tripping ain't easy. And that was the name of the golf tournament. Tripping ain't easy. What's your handicap? And so it was all fun how it all goes.
AI ain't easy. What's your, I'm trying to type and think at the same time.
TRIPP colon, and what's that apostrophe up top? IN.
Yep.
Ain't AINT easy. Capital EAZY.
Oh, you got to get
Yeah.
Z. Got it.
Yeah.
I love that. What's your handicap? So you're raising money with this golf tournament for what purpose?
Yeah, for the purpose to help, because I met the people I spoke to, their insurance runs out, then they get cut off, so they need to be paying. That's why but see, this golf tournament wasn't big. It covered everything I paid for the golf tournament. It's not like I'm making money like
Right.
it's just not like that. I'm making money to help them, but you got to go step by step. And I'm learning now with this. It's like everything takes like a day means a month. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And so it's
definitely.
just I'm trying to raise awareness to head injury and for all disabled people, but I'm really trying to raise awareness for coma people, because they're not given that much attention. I'm not dogging on, but I'm in there singing. The nurses used to be all, "You're gonna wake them up." I'm like, "Oh, what do you think I'm trying to do, man?" And then in the activities room, bless their souls too, but they're not really interacting with them, because when you're in there with them, to anybody that has somebody in a coma, talk to them, ask them questions like they're gonna answer. But if they don't answer, just ask another question like they're gonna answer. Something's bound to click in there, And because when I work with my friend Cheryl, who was hit by a drunk driver, they had to remove the left side of her bone flap for 2 years to let For I don't know how that works, but that's how that was the first time I saw. But see, they were doing it. But see, and I don't work there, and I don't work for the hospital because I don't have credentials. I just got the okay from the parents to do it. So that's what I'm trying to show, that the credentials, I mean, they're good. I mean, bless you, bless everyone that has them. You have to go through school to get them. And I was in Orange Coast College for 15 years, and I still didn't get an AA. That was great. But I started in 98, 7 years after my head injury. And then I went to like 2014 or 15. And then because I was in math class, and that was that's your parietal lobes, the math, and that's what I had hemorrhaging on the left side. I
Mhm.
even brought to the teacher that where my injury was, and she's like, "Oh, okay." She didn't really know about it, but she was like, "Oh, okay." I was like, "That's the math part in the brain," and I didn't take a test for 1 semester, and then she's all, "I can't sign you up again," and I was like, "Okay, I'm done." That was it. So I just have to go on my credentials now, my coma dentals.
Coma dentals. Well,
Yeah.
Matt, we're going to wrap up our interview, but I want to thank you, sir.
No,
You
I
are
want to thank you.
dynamo. I love your humor. I love
Thank
how
you.
you have worked so hard to overcome and that you motivate people.
I've had to you got to keep stepping, got to keep moving forward, got to keep doing what you got to do with the best intentions that you are going to get better. But it's just because you're moving forward with yourself. You have your whole life, the whole expectation, and it's going to be good. So that's all I got to say. And I'll say peace out, and I'll leave you with one little Run DMC. My Adidas stand on 2 Fifth Street, funky fresh, and yes, cold on my feet with no shoestring in them. I did not win them. When Black Lead denim, and they tried to buy them. Oh my gosh, I forgot it because I'm so live on air.
You got it.
Okay.
All right, Matt. Hang on,
Okay.
sir. All
Okay,
right,
cool.
everybody. Thank you for joining us. And Matt,
Thank you.
today,
We love you guys. Have a good day.
doesn't Matt have an interesting story? I love his humor. I love how he makes fun of himself. I love how he doesn't get caught up when people judge him because of how he looks or how he walks or how he talks. There's a lot of good lessons in Matt's story, and I hope you caught some of those. I am going to link in the show notes his website, which is positive-matters.org. On his website, you can see his documentary, Straight Out of a Coma. It also can be found on Tubi, Tubi. But check out his website. Also, in just a few days, Matt is going to be riding his hydro bike from Catalina to the Newport Beach police station. And for those of you that are not familiar with Southern California waters, taking a boat from from Catalina to Newport, that's like a 2-hour ride on a boat. So Matt said this is his second annual time doing this hydro bike ride, and he is doing it for time. So let's cheer him on. Check out his website for the details of his hydro bike trip. Thank you, as always, for joining us on the podcast this week. Next week, I get to introduce you to one of my friends, David, who also shares with us about his aphasia story, his takeaways, and what he wants you to know about communication. Thanks, everybody. Have a great week.
Thanks for tuning in to the Listen for Life podcast. We hope you feel empowered and supported. Head over to listenforlifepodcast.com to see the show notes with links and information from today's episode. Do you have a topic, a resource to share, or a guest recommendation? Inquiring minds want to know. Let us know in the comments section. Wishing you a fabulous week.